Morning Hollywood Hills fans, and welcome to episode number 8. That means we are 8 racing weeks into the season. That's cool, and we're all in a very good place. But remember, before we get into racing, let's just talk about what went down last night. El Presidente stood up and said we have moved into lockdown level number 1, which means it's good stuff. It's really good for us on the racing front as well. A couple of restrictions have been lifted that changes things. It just makes the atmosphere a little bit easier for us all to work and race within. But remember, it's not over yet. Well done everyone who's played the game so far. It's been a journey. There's been a lot of loss on a personal front and financial front, but we are getting through this. But as long as we all play the game, we'll get through this and everything will keep going up, and positivity will be the name of the game. So when you're out there, wear your masks. When you're out there, stay socially distanced. And when you're out there, keep washing them hands. If we play by those rules, everyone should win and alles should be mooi. Right, let's talk about what went down this weekend. Well, it was the first of a triple header weekend. So Swanee had his little event going on out at the farms. We had EWXC, me and the LiveX lads were out there, and we're going to be on the edit for that. That should drop at the end of this week, so watch a space for that one. And then it was the opening round of the national off-roads for the cross countries, for the bikes, down in KZN in Jolivet. Now this area and this event has often separated the masses. So all the fifth gear pinners go down there, but they always get beat by the guys that are a little bit more technically gifted down there. And that's some of the enduro riders and the hare scramble racers. So every time we go down to KZN, I know this is kind of like a false start for the championship, because one or two of the guys will do well down there, but they won't be key players in the full championship. But let's talk about who were the players this weekend. So as with last year, TT and Wade entered. TT was the best of them though. He smoked them in the time trial and he smoked them in the race. That's the overalls as well as the OR1 Big Bangers, because he's obviously on the gas racing the 300cc smoker machine, which means he beat out all the Big Bangers. The best of the Big Bangers in true off-road form was Swanee. So Brett Swanepoel got second in the OR1s and he top 5'd it in the overalls, which is really good for a big bike down there. But Swanee, remember, he's a seriously gifted rider. He's very good at enduro, hare scrambles, off-road, extreme riding, and everything. But this is his first year racing in the 450s. So well done to Brett, but great job for TT getting the job done. But probably going to be a no-show for the rest of the championship. And when we start getting into the next couple of rounds where it is the fifth gear pinners, it's going to be a change of the championship. So watch out for the championship to develop there as we go into round number 2. In the OR2s, change in the off-season for Cox. He is dominant on the 250. Time for him to move up though into the 350s. KTM moved him up onto the 350 machine, and there was a big reshuffle in the team lineup, but it was no big surprise to see Brad getting the job done there. He was second overall at the event, the first time really outstretching his legs on the 350. Second overall and first in the OR2. So he's already doing very well as far as his championship run goes, and he's one of those riders as well. He's good enough in the tech and really good in the fast stuff. So he's going to be the kid to beat on the 350s this year, and it's his first year as well. So he's going to try and smash his championship in the first time of asking. In the OR3s, that's the 250s, which is an extremely stacked gate. And we saw 2 weeks ago that Dav Cocker was the man to beat on the 250s in the GXCC lineup. The closest kid that ran him on the day was Matty Wilson. But at the Nationals, there is a ton of KZN crazies down there. Dav Cocker did enough to get the job done and win the OR3s. So as we predicted, he's going to be the kid to beat on the 250 gate. And then in the 125s, this was a big story because I thought Luke Berta down there for the franchise company CIT squad, my apologies, getting my tongue twisted on a Monday morning. He looked like he was in really good form on the GXCCs. But remember, in the 125s, it's got a very strong high school footing down in KZN. So there's always going to be someone different. And this year, it is someone different. Last year, he was the first kid to jump up very early from the 85 into a 125. And that was his grounding year last year. This year, fully formed. And that is Dylan Jones. Dylan really made his name good a couple of years ago racing on the ice, extreme enduros. I saw this kid had huge talent, but it's not just tech. He can go fast as well. So at the moment, Dylan Jones is your championship leader on the high schools, but we don't know if he's going to be in it to win it for the whole championship, whether he's a championship player or whether he's a one-shot pony coming out of KZN. Time will tell. On the age group categories, seniors, the super senior, that is Wade Blau. No big surprise there. Hammered the field. But he didn't have it a smooth run as well. He did a big tree hugging situation in the time trial, probably bruised, maybe cracked a couple of his ribs. He did that 2 years ago as well, and he really suffered for it as well when he crashed out. I think it was Lesotho when he crashed out there as well. So we'll have to wait and see if Blau is going to be good to go for the rest of the season. He should have a couple of weeks to recover and kind of take a couple of shallow breaths while his lungs heal. But Blau, the man to beat on the seniors, no big surprise there. And then in the Masters, so this was a surprise. So Wayne Farmer went down there as a defending title holder, and he is the man to beat on the Masters gate. But this time around, he had to take a second place because it was all about Greg Name. Now, we're looking into getting more information on Greg Name, so watch this space for that. But at the moment, Greg Name has already put his name out there as the next Peter Hole, who's going to be an arch rival for Farmer. But again, with the high scores and a couple of the OR3s, will Name travel to the Nationals? Time will tell. Farmer is a key rider and a championship player as well, so he'll race every single round and make sure he gets his points on the plate, and that's why he is always going to be the man to beat on the Masters gate. So that's really what went down. Just a quick overview of the National. What's coming up? Well, this next weekend, me and the boys are actually going to take a little bit of a breather. It's actually MotoGP. That's not the reason we're taking the break, but it just happens to be that on the 6th, we actually go the 7th, we go MotoGP racing, which is fantastic. So we're going to take a little bit of a breather. It's been about a 5-week run for all of us, so we're all a little bit tired. So we're going to take that gap, and then we're going to get ourselves ready for the 13th of March. 13th of March is another marker in the sand for us. It's going to be the first round of the Farm Jams for 2021. Now, we've been working with the Farm Jam guys, Leon and Rowan and Melissa and all the crew up there, and it's such a cool family atmosphere. For the last couple of years, they've all raced on the Van der Westhuizen farm. Now we're going to start moving out. So there was talk in 2020 of us going on the road and doing a 6-round championship for Farm Jam on the road. 2020 happened, unfortunately, and everything got put on ice. But now 2021, they are going on the road. They're not going too far down the road for the opening round. Loskop Dam is where we're going to be racing on the 13th, and they've laid out a new format of track. It's going to be hare scramble style. So it's going to be a couple of good high-speed sections, but it's going to be mixed in with a couple of slow speed sections as well. So it's not going to be 5th gear pin the whole time. You're going to have a real good variety, everything rideable, everything achievable for all levels of riders. They've got the junior race happening in the morning. They've got the senior motorcycles happening in the afternoon. No race for the quads. We've already covered that in previous episodes, but it should be a much smoother run event and a little bit easier for the guys to lay out the tracks as well. So when we do go into the very narrow sections and stuff like that, they are going to be able to use those sections, of course, because we don't have to cater for the quads. So that's one of the reasons they did it, but the rest of the time, it's going to be really positive. They've been out there for the last couple of weeks. I think last weekend, they actually ran full laps, so they actually have a format. They know exactly how the track is going to be running. Yesterday, they went out there, they sent us a couple of pictures. They've just marked a couple of the key danger markers, just 1 or 2 little rocks, nothing too major. And then over the next couple of weeks, they'll be cutting grass and making sure alles is mooi. But we can't wait to go up there. Remember, they are running online entries as they did at the end of last year. So they're running through Race Control. So go online, check out Race Control, check out Farm Jam, and that's going to be their opening round. Farm Jam round number 1, 2021 is what you're looking for. It's Loskop Dam, and it's going to be an absolute banger. Me and the LiveX boys are going to be up there. I'm going to be barking down the mic all day, and the LiveX boys will be running around making you guys super famous. So get your entries in there, get on up there, and let's really support Farm Jam. They've done an incredible journey throughout their lifetime of racing. I think this is their 12th year of running the Farm Jam Tour, so we want to keep these guys going, keep them in the green, and keep the lineups super strong. For now, that's us rolling out as we get ourselves ready to go into the edit for EWXC for the rest of the week, and then next week we'll take a little gap and get ourselves ready for Farm Jam. I'm signing off by saying, get those entries in for Farm Jam round number 1, 2021. We will see you guys up there on the 13th. Have a great week.